Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Morgan Walls here. I'm the sales director for Grant Cardone Canada. And today, guys, I'm going to talk about a very simple three-step strategy that you're going to apply that's going to help you close more sales, reduce your sales cycle, and actually get your customers to more effectively communicate with you. Now, before we cover that, though, I want to talk about the one subject we're talking about today, which is objections, okay? We all get them. If we don't, we're probably not pushing hard enough. I'm not interested. We want to wait. We're going to do it next quarter. Call me back another time. I don't make decisions. We don't sign contracts. As salespeople, we hear all of this every single day. And most people get stopped in their tracks. Now, I want to share some data, though, right now from Grant Cardone. And by the way, everything that I cover, we actually have an ebook, 56 pages full of strategies. If you go to grantcardone.ca, scroll down, click on Mastering Objections. That's where this information is from. But I want to jump into number one, guys. Objections. Here's the first piece of data you got to have. Okay, an objection is not a reason to stop the sale. That's straight from Grant Cardone from a training he did called Mastering Objections. It is not a reason to stop the sale. An objection, if you look it up in the dictionary, someone's just expressing the fact that, hey, they got a problem with something you presented. It's not a reason to stop it. You know, just because it rains outside, what, do you not go to work? It's crazy, right? So objections are not a reason not to stop the sale. That's something you got to understand, number one. Number two thing about objections you have to understand is most objections are actually not objections at all. Okay, they're complaints. It's like if I walk into a store, you know, salesperson wanders up over to me and they say, hey, sir, can I help you? And I say, no, I'm just looking. What, is that a reason to ignore me? I went there for a reason. Most people just like to complain. Hey, look at your friends, family, your spouse, your children, hey, yourself even. Most people enjoy complaining, but it's not a reason to stop the sale. So if I know that objections are not a reason to stop the sale, and if I know that most of the time they're just complaints, what do I do now? Well, I want to give you guys 3 steps. This is actually taken from a 6-step formula the Grant put together on how to master objections. The first thing you want to do anytime you get an objection, are you ready for it? Check this out, is listen. Step 1 is listen. It's actually harder than most people think, okay? Most people, when they get an objection, they start responding, they start reacting, they start throwing all these different words out there, they start saying, well, hey, bud, or let me give you a discount. No, step 1 is you've got to listen. Take a step back and put your attention on your customer and actually listen to what they're saying. Now, if you have trouble doing that, it's probably because you don't know your script, which means you got to check out our other video where we broke down the 7 steps to successfully role play and master a script so that you know where you're going. That has to be in place, but once you've got that down, I got to listen. Listen takes that long. Got it. Okay, so step 1 is listen. Step 2 is you want to acknowledge, okay? The most important rule of all of sales, the most violated one, this is straight from Grant Cardone, is always, always, always agree. So I want to acknowledge the customer's communication. Let them know I agree with it. So for example, someone says, hey Morgan, we got to think about it. I'm going to listen. Got it, sir. Hey, I completely understand. Take all the time you need. In fact, if I was in your shoes, I'd probably want to think about it too. That's a good decision. So I'm acknowledging their communication. I'm agreeing with it. Why? Because people move forward towards agreement. They don't move away from it. People move away from opposite. So don't disagree with your customer, okay? So after I've listened, I fully understand, I acknowledge it. Here's what I want to figure out, is this a real objection? Or is it something else? Most salespeople have the experience where they get an objection from a client and then they handle it and they find out there's another one. So here's what I want to say, before I handle, before I react, before I'm pulling off the fire alarm, I'm going to say, so let me ask you this. Other than you needing to think about it, is there any other reason that you wouldn't want to move forward?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely sounds like it. Okay, that's awesome. Makes sense. And then outside of having a conversation with your founder there, any other reason that we wouldn't really get this done? No? Okay, got it. That makes sense.
Okay, so I've listened, I hear it completely, I acknowledge their communication, let them know I've received it, I understand it, and then I'm going to ask them, hey, is there anything else? Is there another problem? You know, if you could, I've got my phone here, you can imagine they've given me this objection, I'm saying, yeah, but other than that, is there anything else that could be going on? Here's what's going to happen. One of 2 things. They're going to say, no, that's the real problem. In that case, good, I'm on the right track, I can handle it. Or they'll say, well, actually, there's this other thing going on. You know, actually, it's not because I need to think about it. It's because I'm not the decision maker. For those of you that are in B2B, hey, actually, it's not that it's too expensive. I just don't know if it's the right car for me. You know, actually, it's not that we want to wait until next quarter. It's just there's so much work with regards to switching our insurance policy, and we don't have the time and bandwidth to go with it or go through with it. Okay, so I just want to isolate and figure out, is that the real objection? If I can do that, it's amazing how much more people will communicate to you, how much more you'll understand, and then you'll be in a much better position to actually help your client make a good decision and sell your product. Okay, so just to recap, what did we talk about today? We talked about objections. We talked about step one. If you guys remember, what was step one? Step one, I gotta know that an objection is not a reason to stop. It's not a reason not to move forward. Step two is I gotta realize that most objections are just complaints. People are just complaining. Hey, it's hot outside, it's cold outside, I'm still gonna do it anyways. In step three, I'm gonna apply listen, acknowledge, and isolate. Is there any other concern you have that stop us moving forward? To allow the customer a chance to tell me what's really going on, getting communication, and improve my ability to close the sale. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you tune in every Monday. We're gonna drop a video just like this. And check out grantcardone.ca. Scroll down. You're gonna click on Mastering Objections, get access. Grant Cardone put together a 56-page ebook full of simple strategies you can apply in your business to increase sales today.